Good day and welcome to Afro Culture Sports. It's your boy Freddy Dynamo, controversial Freddy, and today we are talking up the senior national team, the Black Star, four-time AFCON champions. It's public knowledge now. Otto Addo is no more coach of the Black Star. He was shown the exit door after a double header where we lost 5-1 against Austria. Yes, it was a much better performance against the Diamond Shaft of Germany, but that decision had already been taken. Otto Addo is no more head coach of the Black Stars. We are going to talk about some coaches, and we would possibly, detail it down to three replacements, three coaches who can replace Otto Addo as new head coach of the Black Stars. We'll go into how Otto Addo fared. So he played 22 games and he had a win rate of 36%. That entailed 8 wins, 9 losses, and 5 draws. So Otto Addo, even below average, because win rate of 36% is not good for a footballing nation like the Ghana Black Star team. We are going straight into some possible replacements. And first on the list, Walid Regragui. So for the uninitiated, Walid Regragui is former coach of the Atlas Lions of Morocco. And these are some of his achievements. So he won the African Cup. Now he is an African Cup winner because the Confederation of African Football finally decided that the Teranga Lions of Senegal walking off the pitch in that grand finale at Rabat, it means that they forfeited the game, and CAF has decided that that AFCON belongs to Morocco now. So because of that decision that was taken by CAF, Walid Regragui is an AFCON winner as it stands, per the decision that will come out from the Court of Arbitration for Sports. So he also won the Qatar, Premier League with Al Duhail. He is a Moroccan Cup winner, and he's won 2, Morocco Premier Leagues with Wydad Club Athletic and FAR Rabat. Now, 2 times Manager of the Year, 2 times Africa Cup participant, and he's the only coach that sent the Atlas Lions of Morocco all the way to the semi-final of the World Cup. Remember, in 2022, they defeated the likes of, the selection of Portugal. Morocco were very impressive in that World Cup, and it was Walid Regragui who was, managing affairs for the Atlas Lions of Morocco. So he's a top candidate to replace Coach Nana Otto Addo. Walid Regragui, keep that name in mind. Now, second man on the list, there's also Tom Saintfiet. Tom Saintfiet, former Gambia coach, and he's the only coach, the first coach who qualified Gambia to any, Africa tournament. So we had Gambia, play the African Cup, which was their first time qualifying to the Africa Cup of Nations in 2021. It was Tom Saintfiet, the Belgian-born tactician. And in 2021, he reached the quarterfinals also. That same year, qualifying Gambia for the first time in the biggest competition on the African continent. He sent Gambia all the way to the semi-final. In 2023, he had back-to-back, qualifications. So even after the 2021 AFCON, in 2023, he qualified Gambia also. So that was enough for the Malians. He's now head coach of the Malian national team. And in 2008, he was voted the Namibian Coach of the Year. He has experience on the African terrain. He's coached a number of African teams, albeit very short stints, but he's a well-traveled coach. As I said, he's Belgian-born. He was born in Belgium, but he understands the African football so well so that he's, overseen so many national teams on the African continent. So many other coaches have been thrown around. There's Kwesi Appiah also. Remember that Kwesi Appiah, he guided the senior national team, the Black Stars, to the 2014 World Cup. Yes, it didn't go well, but he's a former Ghanaian international also. Charles Akuno, CK Akuno, he's also been thrown in the mix. Coach Charles Kwabena Akuno, he's been thrown in the mix, and he's a possible, and who knows, anything is possible. As it stands, we are looking for somebody to replace Otto as head coach of the Black Star. There's also Lai Kenson. Remember, Lai Kenson took over the reins of the national under-17 side in that Wafu Zombie Championship. You know, many people were very impressed with his tactical news. For Lai Kenson, he's a very good coach, because myself, I was at the University of Ghana Stadium and I watched him, you know, control the or shape up the under-17 team. They were playing some beautiful football. Asamoah is on record to say that Lai Kenson will be one of the best coaches on the African scene. You know, so Lai Kenson, his name has also been thrown in the mix. There's Harvey Renard. For the uninitiated, Harvey Renard was a physical trainer in the AFCON 2008. You know, the Africa Cup of Nations 2008. Ghana hosted. We were hoping to win, but it didn't happen. He was a tactical or a physical trainer then. Claude Leroy was a head coach. Both French, you know, born coaches. Harvey Renard is now the head coach for Saudi Arabia. He's the only coach that defeated defending champions now, which is the Argentina national team. He defeated them in the 2022 World Cup in that first game. And he, on record, he is the only coach that defeated Argentina in the World Cup 2022. Full force to reckon with. And Harvey Renard, you know, he's had so many stints. Remember, he has won the Africa Cup of Nations with Zambia and Cote d'Ivoire. So Harvey Renard also understands the African football terrain. He's worked for the Ghanaian national team before, so he understands Ghanaian players. You understand? The only problem is that he's under contract now, and he's taking, you know, some good money Saudi Arabia. So it wouldn't come easy. It will be very difficult, you know, getting him to take the Black Stars job. But if we only, you know, want to make an impression at the 2026 World Cup, Harvey Renard wouldn't be a bad decision at all. There's also Kim Lasbiota-Green. Currently, he holds a position as head coach of the senior national female team of Ghana, the Black Queens. And we know that the Black Queens, they were scheduled to play the Africa Cup of Nations women's, you know, championship. It didn't come on. It's been postponed. And it's a bit worrying because just after the World Cup, the Black Queens would also, you know, be ready to participate in the African women, you know, nations. Many people are saying that it wouldn't augur well for the Black Queens because he has prepared them for the Africa Cup of Nations, and it will be very detrimental if, you know, we should take him away from the women team and bring him. He's not also had, you know, experience on the African scene when it comes to, you know, men football. So that would also be a bit challenging. There's also Wilfred Shaffer. Currently, he's a technical advisor of the Ghana Football Association. In 2002, you know, he won the Africa Cup of Nations with the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. So he's also had a fair, you know, idea of African football. He understands African players also. And in the last 3 or 4 months, he's been the technical advisor for the Ghana Football Association. So for the last 3-4 months, he's been with the team. He understands the players. He's been training with them. And he wouldn't be a bad choice at all. The only problem is that it's been quite a while that he took over the reins as head coach of, you know, a team. So it might be a bit challenging, especially for us preparing for the biggest stage. It doesn't come better than the World Cup, you know, Mundial. And this is the 2026 World Cup where the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico will be hosting in a couple of months' time. So, you know, these are some of the coaches being thrown in the mix. For me, if you ask me, I'm also going to share my opinion. Jose Maria Felix Santos Mourinho, the only special one. Now, this is a coach who, in his contracts with Benfica, the Eagles of Benfica I'm talking about, we know that a couple of months back, Jose Mourinho was head coach of Istanbul Fenerbahce. He failed to win anything tangible with Fenerbahce, but we know that anywhere Mourinho has, coached, he's been a full force to reckon with, and he's a serial winner. He's won, the Champions League with Porto and the Nera series of Inter Milan. He's won League Cup titles and league titles in Inter Milan, Chelsea. He won the Europa League with Manchester United. He's a winner for Jose Mourinho. Everywhere he's gone to, he's tried winning something. And this is a coach who understands African players also. Mind you, he calls ACN his son. Do you understand? So people who are a bit confused, and I know some people wouldn't side with me, Freddie Dynamo saying that, oh, let's go talk to Jose Mourinho to come coach the Black Stars. Listen, it will be a tempting, opportunity for Jose Mourinho, because this is where he comes in. Now, at the end of the season, Mourinho has 10 days to decide. So unlike the likes of, Javier Renette, Coach Kwesi Appiah, where we would need to pay, some compensation to their employers, okay? For Jose Mourinho, once the league, especially the Portuguese league, ends, Mourinho has a sole prerogative to, he has the, first option to move to any club team or national side he wants. So that 10-day period just after the Portuguese league ends, he has the first say. Okay, so Ghana will not need to go pay any compensation to the Eagles of Benfica. We only need to get Michael Essien, go talk to his, football dad. Jose, my country needs you to lead us to the World Cup. There's Ket-E-S Okreku, who also knows Jose Mourinho so well. Do you understand? So it wouldn't be a Herculean task getting Mourinho to coach the Black Stars. Only that it will come with some good money. Jose Mourinho, he's a winner, so it wouldn't come cheap. Jose Mourinho would be taking close to $250,000, $300,000 a month if we need him as head coach. If we are prepared to pay that money, listen, you need to risk it to get the biscuit. And this is the biggest stage. Do you understand? So if you want to make any meaningful impact in the World Cup, you need to go for the best. And as I've said, the likes of Michael Essien, Ket-E-S Okreku, who happens to be the president of the Ghana Football Association, only if we have the money to spend, it wouldn't be a Herculean task convincing Jose Mourinho to coach the Black Stars at the World Cup. It can be a short stint, okay, he coaching the Black Stars for some number of, weeks. Then wherever he wants to get into, Mourinho also gets. But there's another person who's been thrown in the mix, and Xavi Hernandez, former Barcelona coach, that wouldn't come easy because he has little or no idea. He doesn't understand the African terrain, unlike Jose Mourinho. So Xavi Hernandez, it wouldn't be easy. I've heard the likes of Enzo Maresca and, some other coaches also being mentioned. But probable, coaches that it wouldn't be difficult convincing to take over the reins as head coach or substantive head coach of four-time AFCON champions, the Ghanaian national, side. These are the coaches that, are possible replacements to take over the reins as head coach of the Black Stars. For now, we have some few days. We are expecting the Ghana Football Association to liaise with the Ministry of Sports and Recreation. In a couple of days' time, they would come out with the new head coach of the Black Stars. Surely, we'll bring you much details in subsequent, editions. But for now, your boy Freddie Dynamo on Afro Culture Sports. Let's go!